Hello everyone, welcome to another Python tutorial series, and in this video I'm going to talk about a pie chart. So a pie chart or a circle chart is a circular statistical graphic which is divided into slices to illustrate numerical proportion. So in a pie chart, the arc length of each slice and consequently its central angle and area is proportional to the quantity it represents. A pie chart is often used when we want to express a part-to-whole relationship in our data. So now let's look at an example. Say Joe owns some stocks from 5 different sectors, and he wants to see what the percentage values of each sector relative to the whole are. So we have 5 different sectors: financials, energy, technology, healthcare, and utilities, and we also have its corresponding percentage for each sector. So this is a good example that we can put a pie chart in or we could use a pie chart for, because it is going to show the weight of each individual sector relative to the whole. And so this is a typical part-to-whole relationship problem that we can use a pie chart. So let's see how we could do this. In our code, we are going to first import our modules, and we're going to import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. And here I'm importing the matplotlib submodule pyplot and rewriting it to plt. Now we want to put our data into lists. So put data into lists. I'll have a sectors list that's going to keep track of the sectors. So financials, we're going to have energy, technology, healthcare, and utilities. And we also want to have a percentage list that has the corresponding percentage. So 30, 15, 40, 10, and 5. So now that we have this data, we could just simply make a plot. So we could write plt.py with our percentage, and then plt.show. And now if I run this, we can see that we've split up this circle into different sectors of the pie. However, there's really not much data we could see. Like, what does this green represent? What does this orange represent? Now, in order to actually distinguish each sector, we can add in another parameter, which is labels is equal to then the sectors list. So now what I've done is that I've added a label to each sector, and this makes sense because we set technology equal to this largest slice of this pie chart, and we have set this technology 40%. So this 40% corresponds to this technology sector. And we also see that utilities is the smallest sector with only 5%, and that makes sense in this pie chart with utility being the smallest slice. So let's also add a title to this pie chart. So plt.title, let's call it stock sectors. And now at the top, I have a title for this graph, or for this chart. And if I show this to another person, right, they'll see that technology is obviously the largest slice. However, they don't see what percentage of technology is this slice. And so to add basically our percentage onto each slice, what I could do is add another parameter, which is auto pct is equal to %.0f and then %. And now what I've done is that I have added the percentage for each slice of the pie chart. And the .0f right here, that just means there are going to be no decimal digits in the displayed numbers. Now, if we want to keep one decimal digit, we could change this to 0.1f. And if I run this, now it says 15.0%, 40.0%, and so on. However, since I'm just using whole numbers, I'm going to leave it as 0.0. Now, if you change it to 0.1, that might work better if you're using decimal points. And it's all up to you. And we can also highlight one slice by pulling it out or exploding a slice. So we want to first create a list that contains the same number of elements with the sectors. So I'm going to have a explodes list, and for the slice that I want to basically highlight and pull out of the pie chart, I'm going to label it as a non-zero number such as 0.1. And in this case, I want to label, or I want to pull out the energy sector. So financials is going to be 0, energy is going to be 0.1, technology is 0, healthcare is 0, utilities is 0. And now in order to incorporate this, I need to add another parameter, which is explode. Explode is equal to explodes. And now you see that I basically pulled out this sector out of this pie chart. And the larger this non-zero number is in the explodes list, the further away the slice is going to be from the rest of the pie. So I'm going to change this to 0.3. And now this pie has basically moved further away than when it was 0.1. And so you can adjust that number to whatever you'd like. Now we can also add shadow to the pie chart to make it have a 3D-like view. And so what I'm going to do, I'm first going to change this back to 0.1. I need to add another parameter, which is shadow is equal to true. And now there is a more, it looks more 3D because I've added this shadow beneath the pie, which makes the pie look a little more visually appealing. Now you also see that I haven't really set the colors anywhere for each slice. And that just means that these colors are the default colors for each slice. Now what if I wanted to change each color? Well, in order to change each color, I need to make another list. So I'll have a colors list that has the color with the corresponding sectors. So gold for financials. I'm going to set the energy to yellow green, technology to light coral, light sky blue for healthcare, and how about wheat for utilities. And now in order to actually incorporate these colors, again we have to add another parameter. So colors is equal to colors. I'll save and run. And now we've actually set each color to the specific color that we wanted to. Now we can also decide the position of the slices by setting the start angle. And so what I could do is close this. After this colors, I'll have a start angle parameter, set it equal to 90. And now if I run, we have basically set the first slice at a specific angle, which is counterclockwise. And 0 basically means east, 90 degrees means north. So we can also add a legend to the pie chart. In order to add a legend, what I could do is just write this one-liner, plot.legend sectors. So if I run this, now I have a legend in the top left corner of my pie chart. However, this looks a little awkward for the chart because the legend and the pie overlap. So what we could do is, one, get rid of the labels right here, since now that we have a legend, we already know what each color stands for. And two, make the pie smaller. So in order to just remove the labels, I can just delete this parameter and replace that, or after here, I will add another parameter, which is the radius, and set it to 0.5. And when I set it to 0.5, all that does is sets the radius of the pie half of the default radius. So we can also decide where the legend is going to be by adding a LOC parameter or lock in the plot.legend command. So right here, I'll add another parameter. Lock is equal to, let's say, upper left. And what I do is just set this to the upper left of my chart. And the percentage values displayed on the pie chart here are black. You see this text is black. And what if we wanted to, change this color? Well, we can. Now to change that color, I'm going to do that. To change that color, all I'm going to do is add another parameter after colors and set that. So it's going to be text props is equal to dict color, and the color that I'm going to change it to is equal to blue. Make sure I add this comma. And now if I run this, now this text color is blue. Okay, so this is the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.